Hello and welcome to another video. And in my previous one, we talked about the April dev vlog and the wonderful changes that are coming with it. But in this video, I'd like to talk about one of the things I want them to do next. Now, there are several different options. We could go with map design or spawn points, but I have a really quick and easy one that would help improve various light mechs. And it's one of those easy, just change a value in an XML and it works. Just hard, there's literally no engineering time required, as far as I understand. Of course, I'm not a programmer, so I don't think that this will require any effort. You just have to tweak a value and the changes in. What I'm talking about is the 10 heatsink minimum for saving a valid mech. Now, what is that? Let's pop over to MechDB. I've got the Cauldron version here because that's where we're going, so might as well start planning on the Cauldron version. We have a Piranha design. We currently have 7 heatsinks in our engine and 5 external heatsinks, meaning we have 12 heatsinks. That is above the minimum of 10. So if I start removing heatsinks, after I remove this one, we get a warning. You require one more heatsink. The game will not let you save this mech. Well, maybe let you save it, but you can't take it into the battle. It lacks heatsinks. So you need to at least have 10. But this is an energy heavy build, so we have a couple extra, just because they fit. Now, where this is a problem, we have to think about the different properties of weapons. We have 3 different categories. Energy, of course this mech doesn't have anything beyond energy, but we have, as I scroll to them, we have energy weapons, missile weapons, and ballistic weapons. And each set have their own bonuses, but also drawbacks. For example, with energy weapons, the bonus is that they're really small and really light comparatively to their damage. Their drawback is that they're really hot. So you have to take bulky and heavy heat sinks to compensate. Okay, that makes sense. You then trade that off for a ballistic, which is heavy and large, but is relatively cold compared to an energy weapon that would put out the same amount of damage. So you don't have to take any of this supporting heatsink weight and space. That makes sense. There's a trade-off there. However, there is a problem with this 10 heatsink minimum because it is forcing lights to take heatsinks that they may not need or don't even want to take. To illustrate this, let's take a look at beautiful designs on paint. I am such an artist. So we have the energy weapons in yellow, ballistic weapons in purple, and the relative cooling capacity of your mech in blue here. So for example, this Piranha, it is using all of its available cooling power because it is heavily investing in energy weapons and generating a high heat load. Okay, so it needs the supportive effects of heatsinks. But the benefit is that it is getting 7 heatsinks worth of space and weight baked into its engine so that the rest of the mech doesn't need to use those. That way, a lot of space is freed up so it can take Pharaoh, it can take Endo. Awesome. Well, that's great for us because we're the Piranha. But what if we're not a Piranha, but we're an Urbanmech. So this is the Urbanmech R60L. It has AC20 cooldown. Okay, the quirks are telling me to build for AC20. We put an XL180 engine in. We put an AC20 in. And then that's it. We're done. We're full of tonnage. We don't even have we only have 7 heatsinks. In order to get heatsink capacity, we need to do 3 more. So we'll put 3 more heatsinks in. We're over tonnage now. But we also don't even have ammo for the AC20. So we need like, I say at least 2.5, if not 3 tons of ammo for your main weapon system, right? Oh man, we're almost like 5 tons overweight. Oh, Endo, Pharaoh. Oh wait, we're running out of slots. But we're also over tonnage. Okay, we have to drop the engine. Okay, we can't even take like that. Light Pharaoh? Okay, that fits, but we're still over tonnage. If I drop down to 170 is lighter. Oh wait, we've lost heatsinks because the heatsinks are baked into the engine. We have to add another heatsinks. Oh, we're over slottage, so we have to get rid of Pharaoh. We're still over tonnage. This negative cycle continues and continues until we're basically running a completely shit engine. We still have to add more heatsinks to that. Essentially, I mean, you could probably go on here and finagle this until you find a relatively decent build that does the AC20 and doesn't go assault mech speed. But that is essentially what they're shoehorning us into. This mech, when it had that XL180 and the 3 heatsinks for it, has 148% heat efficiency. It does not need this many heatsinks in order to be viable. We should be able to remove these. It's still at 103 with just the 7 doubles in the engine. It doesn't need additional heatsinks. And we can visualize that here. This is the energy mech. It has a lot of energy, but it also is using its forced cooling capacity. This is the ballistic mech. It has a large forced heat capacity that it has to take. Otherwise, it can't go into the mission. But its ballistic load for that heat is way too low. So all I want to do is take this section and put it onto the actual, like, use it for my weaponry, because my heat load is actually there. It's much lower than what the energy weapons are, because that's what ballistics are. And then that way I can have a firepower that is similar to the energy weapon build. But I don't need as much heat efficiency as they do. So because we're forced to take 10, this mech and others like it that rely on mainly ballistic or mainly missile weapons, for example, which is another thing with the Clan IS, where the Clan missiles are just way freaking lighter than the Inner Sphere missiles. We're being forced into builds that don't work for us. I'd love to be able to run a Urbi with an AC20. Well, yeah, we can go Pharaoh. We can get our AC20 and our ammo on there. Maybe I don't want to spend a 180. Maybe let's go down to like a 150. 81 is slow for a light, but it's an Urbi. Going 81 in an Urbi is actually kind of okay. We throw on a jump jet for a little bit of mobility, and hell, we can maybe even sneak in a couple small lasers over here. Aren't we cheeky? Look at that! The build works. AC-23 small lasers, a 150, and a jump jet. This is a nice little tight build. Uses every slot, uses every ton. But oh no, the game says we can't take it out because we require 4 more heat sinks, even though we have a completely manageable heat efficiency of 40%. That's my issue with it. This isn't a scary mech. It's a light going 81 kilometers an hour. If you're afraid of that, you don't have good aim in this game. This mech is a light going 146, doing 50 damage or more in an alpha strike, and it has max armor, and it's a clan mech, so it can lose a side torso and keep going. Where this is a freaking Inner Sphere XL. This thing loses a side and it bursts into flames. You compare these to mechs that are a bit more comparable. We have energy and machine gun mix. This is the Cypher, the Piranha. Wow. 6 machine guns, 8 ER micro lasers, 70% heat efficiency. Damn, that's really good. This is entirely capable of basically just holding down the fire button for several minutes on end. 11.05 average DPS. Beautiful. This is the Fire Ant. Only 3 lasers, 6 machine guns, an Inner Sphere XL. Oh, but wait, we're already over tonnage because we're forced to take these goddamn heat sinks, and that puts us at 113%. If we take off these heat sinks, because we really don't need them, we're at 68% heat, essentially the same, 70%, as this guy, with even less DPS, with a worse engine, because it's an Inner Sphere XL. Like, come on. If the Piranha can exist in the game, there is no reason why this Urbanmech and this Fire Ant couldn't either. They are worse than the Piranha in every measure. And the only thing holding them back is the 10 heatsink minimum rule. You get rid of that rule, and what do you know? You have Inner Sphere lights capable of fighting back against the bullshit the clans are throwing at them. And this won't cause negatives to other things. Like, for example, if we go and look at, say, a clan light, the Omnipod ones, something like, oh no, is this going to make the adder like unbelievably powerful or something? No, their heatsinks are locked. You can't take them out. So this doesn't even affect mechs like this. They can't take out their heatsinks. The only mechs it would affect is a handful of Inner Sphere lights and maybe 1 or 2 lighter Inner Sphere mediums, like the 40-tonner Cicada-esque style. That could, you know, oh, I really want to shave 1 heatsink to go from 10 to 9 so I can get an extra ton of ammo. Kind of choices. That's it on the medium scale. But on the light, it's build changing. It makes Inner Sphere lighter lights, like the 20s, 25s, so much more powerful, which I think would be cool. And the only thing holding them back, this stupid little rule. You require 4 more heatsinks. Yeah, that's my rant for the day. This is a quick change. And if they do this, I'll throw more money at them. Because I think it needs to happen. There you go, PGI. I've put out a bounty on it. If you do this change, I'll throw money at you. What if we can get like a community thing set up? You know, like how people go for like charity runs, although like every mile that I run, you have to donate for that, and then they just run as long as they can until they can't do it anymore, and then they collect based on how far they went. Why couldn't we do that with PGI? Here, PGI, here's your milestones. Every time you reach a milestone, we'll pledge to give money. Fix the game, guaranteed income. I'm willing to do that if other people are. This would be a really easy first step. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. And good hunting out there, fellow mech warriors.